All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another NBA regular season video. We had some normal games on Monday. We had some NBA Cup games last night on Tuesday. We're going to talk about both of them. Some of them were absolute snoozers of games. Just you could turn them off at halftime, but we'll talk about them a little bit nonetheless. So if you like what I say, like the video. If you have any opinions, comment down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. So this will be the last video for, I guess, a day or so. I'm traveling for the holiday, the U.S. holiday, Thanksgiving. So there will not be a video tomorrow on Thursday. There'll probably be one on Friday. So you guys will get updates for the games that are tonight, Wednesday night, on Friday instead. So I hope you guys enjoy the holiday if you do celebrate the holiday. But let's jump right into it. So right off the top here, let's talk about what games were snoozers and which games weren't. Uh, we're going to talk about Cavaliers Toronto. This was actually a pretty good game, but what I took away from this game was the Raptors look really good, and I had predicted that they might be at least somewhat competitive, but they've looked really good. They're 13-5 right now. This was a pretty good game. Uh, Rockets Suns also on Monday night. This past Monday was okay. There were a lot of subplots. There were a lot of antics going on, but it was a good game. Magic Sixers, absolute. This was the snoozer. This one was you could turn it off at halftime and nothing really changed. This was an NBA Cup game though, so you got to see the 76ers NBA Cup floor, and we might talk about the NBA Cup in its full capacity and what's been going on with that on Friday as well. So we'll talk about that. Then Orlando looking really good without Paulo. Um, I really like this Orlando Magic team. When they play like this, I really like this team. And then you have Lakers Clippers, which is also sort of a snooze game, and it was not a great game if you don't like to watch Luka Doncic. But who doesn't like to watch Luka Doncic? He was just absolutely on fire last night. So let's circle back and we'll talk about Toronto versus Cleveland. And I'm going to go a bit more wide view with this game overall because for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they had a lot of guys out. A lot of guys didn't play this game. Um, Raptors versus Cleveland, top right of your screen in the picture. I I don't want to say I'm concerned about the Cavs because the Cavs they're missing a lot of guys. There's a bunch of injuries. There's a lot put on guys like Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell. There's a lot put on these guys, and Donovan Mitchell's used to that sort of pressure. You know, Donovan Mitchell this game not a great game. 17 points, 6 for 20 overall, 3 of 12. The length of the Raptors really stifled him, and it was probably the most uncomfortable Donovan Mitchell has looked all year, because you watch a lot of these Cleveland Cavaliers games, and they're on a lot of prime time games. You watch them, and you're like, oh, okay, Donovan had a bad first half. He's gonna come back in the second half and have a really good second half, or he has a really good fourth quarter. That was not the case uh, Monday night. He just looked bad, and nobody else really showed up to help. Um, Evan Mobley tried his best, 14 points, not the best. Um, Jalen Tyson in the starting lineup for this Cleveland Cavaliers team, 15 points. Naquan Tomlin, who has grown on me a little bit, um, but I'm not completely sold on him as a rotational player yet. And the only positive you can take away from these Cavaliers games where a bunch of guys are injured, you sort of are fighting an upwards battle versus a team that's healthier and is more prepared, um, that a lot of these guys get more run and they get more confidence. And, you know, you hope that these losses can be turned into a positive down the line in towards the end of the regular season and into the playoffs. But the Cavaliers are very meh right now. They're very meh. And I said this in one of my other videos that I'm just I'm worried that the Cavaliers are putting too much on Donovan Mitchell, and they're hoping that okay, Donovan's going to carry us through the first half of the season. Once everybody gets healthy, once Darius Garland is healthy, once they miss Jared Allen this game as well. Once we get our full team back, then we can rest Donovan on the back end while we get these other guys integrated, and then come playoff time, everybody will be in peak shape, everybody will be rested, everybody will be A1 material, you know? I worry that Donovan Mitchell played a very different role last year when everybody was healthy, and they got off to like what was a 17-0 start to start the season, might have been 20-0. Um, he played a very different role. He's very conservative. He's very purposeful with the shots he was taking, with his playmaking and all that stuff. This season, it's a lot different where he's having to do everything to start the season, and that burnout at the regular season, at the end of the regular season, is always looming, and you always think about it. And a guy like Donovan Mitchell does sit games. There were times last year where he sat games just for like rest and like load management stuff. But I'm afraid that they're putting too much on him, and I'm afraid that the team isn't going to get all together. They're not going to get the whole band together soon enough to get those reps in to integrate a guy like Lonzo Ball, who's the big offseason acquisition who hasn't looked great, um, to integrate some of these other guys who have been playing well. Naquan Tomlin, um, Jalen Tyson. What was the other kid's name? Oh, geez, what was that other kid's name that I said I really liked? Porter Jr. Craig Porter Jr. Yeah, Craig Porter Jr. Um, integrate him a little bit. You're missing guys like Sam Merrill. You're missing guys like Max Struess. You're missing a lot of guys, and these are a lot of bodies that demand a lot of shots, and a lot of them do know their role, but a lot of them are new to this. A lot of these guys have never played this much basketball before at this level, and they're expecting a sort of role. Um, Maybe that would be different from what it is now. Um, so I'm monitoring the Cavs situation. I was pretty sold on them being good. I mean, we can go look at the standings. I don't think they're great right now, but they're okay enough. Yeah, they're the four seed. They're the four seed right now. They're 12-7 on the season. And they this is their first loss in their past 10 games. So they're 6-4. Yeah. Um, Moving on to the Raptors here. The Raptors have looked really amazing. This is my first chance to really watch the Raptors in a full game capacity rather than just watching the highlights, watching the clips on the internet and stuff on Twitter and Instagram. And man, did they look good. That duo of Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram looks amazing. Brandon Ingram, like a little bit bottom top right of your screen, number 3. Um, and then Scotty Barnes, top right of your screen, number 4. Um, Man, oh man, the duo looks great. It's everything you sort of forecast for this duo. Brandon Ingram, the score, 37 points, 15 of 30 from field goal, 5 of 11 from 3, 4 turnovers. That's going to happen with Brandon Ingram, 7 rebounds. And you have Scotty Barnes doing a little bit of everything. 18 points. Did not shoot the 3 ball well this game, but he had 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 block, or 1 steal. Both of them had 1 steal. Really good stuff. And the length of this team, man. The length of this team, man, oh man. That's starting like 5 with the back 3 being like Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Pertl is amazing. It's an amazing um, front court and center. Jakob Pertl not asked to do too much. And this is the thing about Jakob Pertl is you never ask Jakob Pertl to do too much. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna maybe get a double double. He had 7 points, 13 rebounds this game. He had 2 steals. You just ask him to do whatever Scotty and Brandon can't do. If their defender gets past them, you send him to Jakob Pertl, and Jakob Pertl will take care of it. Um, Also, guys on this team, um, see, oh my God, how do you? Is this Sri Mikhailuk? No, I do not know how to say that name. Oh my God, Ciandro? Yeah, I'm calling Ciandro. Yeah, Ciandro. Ciandro, 12 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. He was really big in the first half. Um, Jamal Shed was really good. Um, Grady Dick is still on this team and just hanging around. 0 points last night. 0 of 3 from 3, 0 of 5 from field goal. Not great. Although their newer draft pick, Colin Murray Boyles, who a lot of people were high on throughout the draft process this past year, I never really was high on him. I had no opinion on him. Looked decent this game. He looked okay enough. He looked like an NBA player, which is more than what Grady Dick looks like. um, Other thoughts about this team, and other some notes here. To end the first half, the Toronto Raptors went on a 7-0 run, and then to end the game, they also went on a 7-0 run. Um, Interesting stat for you there. That's how they closed the game. Just went on some pretty decent runs. Um, Cavaliers just the end of this game was just so messy. You could tell Donovan Mitchell was just like they'd taken the trip up to Toronto, um, and they were like, and you could just tell they just wanted to leave. They were just so done with the game. You have Lonzo Ball taking some bad shots. You have Donovan Mitchell taking some bad shots, and then Coach Kenny Atkinson just called it a day at some point. He was like, "Yeah, okay, we're not going to get anything from this game," and just pulled the guys out. Let some of the other people get some run. Um, this is a stat I was trying to get right, and when I typed it out here, I wasn't sure if I got it right. So and this might be incorrect, but the you'll get the cadence of this stat is that the Raptors maintain the second seed for the first time since 2020. So I think they've breached the barrier where um, the sample size is large enough to be like, okay, they are maintaining the second seed for a steady amount of weeks or days since 2020. So it's been 5 years since they've been this good, or at least to start the season this good, which is a very positive step for this Raptors team that, quite frankly, has looked lost over the last 3 years. And even if they do start to drop down a little bit, I think you can look at the beginning of the season, look at it as a real positive, and look at some of the guys that you've acquired. Obviously, Brandon Ingram, traded from the Pelicans to Toronto last trade deadline. Scotty Barnes, who's been sort of like your project from what draft was he? He was like 2023 draft. Yeah, 2023. 20, yeah, maybe the 2022 draft. You have guys like Emmanuel Quickly, who you traded for, who is hit or miss. He had 11 points, 7 assists, so that's good. And then you have guys who you're also working on: Jamal Shed, Colin Murray Boyles. They like Ciandro. Grady Dick is hopefully might appear at some point to be an NBA player. We'll see. And yeah, so the Raptors is looking really good, man. They're looking really fun. Um, I don't know what the ceiling for this team is, to be honest. I really don't. Um, could they stay around here? I mean, East is so weird right now. You look at it, you got Pistons, Toronto, Miami, Cleveland, New York. That's the top five right now. Cavaliers just like meh. New York looks meh. Atlanta is keeping their head above water without Trey Young. Miami, you never know Miami. They could stay around here and just coast through the season. Orlando, I genuinely believe the Raptors could stay around here, around the top three teams of the East. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. I don't know. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying that actually after it came out of my mouth. But let's move on here. The second game of Monday night, Rockets Suns. Oh, before I move this one, the Raptors won that game 110 to the Cleveland Cavaliers 99. Um, Back to Rockets Suns. The Suns fall to the Rockets at home. The Rockets got the W 114 to the Phoenix Suns 92. And this was a game without Kevin Durant for the Rockets, and everybody showed up. There were still some glaring problems that obviously that's why they went out and got Kevin Durant to cover up those problems. And when he isn't there, those problems still show their ugly head. But overall, this game just intrigued me so much, and it felt like two teams that had something really at stake, and it felt like one of them just had the more powerful punch. If we're going like for a boxing analogy, like you can go at it, but if that other guy across from you has like the more pound for pound harder shot, then you're just gonna get knocked. You're just gonna get knocked to the floor, and you're just gonna stop getting up at some point. But I'm tired of getting hit. That's exactly what happened. The Rockets just bludgeoned the Suns. Jabari Smith 17 points, Alperen Şengün 18. Um, Aaron Holiday 22 off the bench. He's been on a heater. It was holiday season for Aaron Holiday, and then the star of the night, the guy who everybody's been high on, everybody has loved throughout this whole process of having Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün, and then the piece that really brings it all together is Ahmed Thompson, 28 points last night or Monday night, 10 of 16, 1 of 1 from three, made all his free throws, um, 4 turnovers, not great, but 8 assists, 7 rebounds, um, and 1 block. Man, oh man, this kid is so special. He's so special. Um, it makes me feel like I'm watching basketball for the first time again. Like it genuinely makes me feel like I'm when I started watching basketball, when I was watching like prime Dwayne Wade, and he was just doing all this crazy stuff around the rim, the dunks, the layups, the kicking it out to the corner, um, dumping it off to his teammates in the paint, doing these smart heady passes. Um, Ahmed Thompson makes me feel like I'm watching basketball again, like basketball for the first time, and there's a certain feeling when you watch some guys. It's either a feeling of awe, you look at Nikola Jokic on the Nuggets, you look at Jason Tatum with his tough shot making, you look at Jalen Brunson with his footwork, um, you look at Giannis with his athleticism, you're just in awe. And there are some guys also that are like you just watch and you wonder how they do it. LeBron in his prime, his athleticism, his reading of the floor, his passing. You look at Steph, you're like, how the hell did he make that shot? Clay Thompson in his prime. Oh my God, how did he make that shot? He took one dribble, he just caught it and it fired and it went in. Um, you look at Ahmed and you just watch him, and you see, even if you just have enough time to watch a half, and Ahmed Thompson has it going in that half, you're like, oh my gosh, this kid is special, and he's been empowered by Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant is such a different player from him. He's born 2003. Damn, 22 years old. Ahmed Thompson, and it's his second year, and he's already looking this good. And I venture to say, Ahmed Thompson. This sounds crazy. I'm just going off about Ahmed Thompson, but I venture to say Ahmed Thompson, once the West sort of fizzles out a little bit, like the old guard of the West fizzles out a little bit, Ahmed Thompson could be a multi-time All NBA first team kind of guy with the year he's having now, with his trajectory that he's on. Man, oh man. And we also have to add Alperen Şengün to this equation. Alperen Şengün was really good, 18 points. Not too much of a flashy game from him, but sturdy enough. They threw some bodies at him, but the Suns didn't really have a lot of bodies to throw at him. They had Oso Ighodaro. They had where is the Nick Richards, and none of them really did a good enough job to stop him. But they stopped him enough. They kept him below 20 points. Um, Jabari Smith looked really good this game as well, 17. Um, just a lot of positive things. This probably would obviously this would have been a way easier win with Kevin Durant. The Rockets sort of had to gut this one out. Obviously, um, or more pertinently, more visible. This was the Dylan Brooks revenge game. Dylan Brooks, a former Rocket last year, traded to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for Kevin Durant, and Dylan Brooks made sure to let everybody know that he still had it. 29 points for Dylan Brooks in the starting five for the Phoenix Suns. 2 of 8 from three, 11 of 22 overall. Five of six from free throw. Um, the best player on the Suns Monday night. I said this in another video. I never expected this from Dylan Brooks. The stuff that Dylan Brooks does is so awkward and so weird, and he does it and it goes in. You're like, when did he learn how to do that? How when and you're like, wow, okay, Dylan, go off. And it was one of those nights where he did all his antics. He was in a bit of foul trouble as well. How many fouls did he have? He had five personal fouls. He did all his antics like he normally does, but he scored the ball, and that is something that I never really thought Dylan Brooks would be able to do. Is score the ball like this against a defense like this in the Rockets, who is a very good defensive team. Um, but man, carrying the load the other night, Dylan Brooks. Devin Booker helped out with 18. Not his best game. Dylan Brooks had an easier time figuring out the Rockets defense than Devin Booker. They were sending doubles at Devin. They were just trying to throw Devin off and tell anybody else to beat them, and that's exactly how it worked. Um, 12 points for Royce O'Neal as well, and then 16 for Colin Gillespie, who brought this game back in the third quarter, I believe it was. Made it a bit closer. That's why the final score looks close because of Colin Gillespie. But otherwise, not a real positive night for the Suns. They're 11-7, so they're sort of falling back down to earth after the pretty good win streak I believe they had um, last week, ending this week not ending this week on a not so positive note. But you hoping you can maybe get some easier games. Maybe after all this NBA Cup stuff is done, you can maybe find your spotting again, find your footing again. Someone I do want to shout out in this game as well. Jordan Goodwin, who got the start this game for the Suns, 7 points, um, two steals, four assists, um, one of three from three. Not his best night, but this is somebody to look out for if the Suns do go on a run again to get some wins. He did have five turnovers this game, not the best game handling the ball, but Jordan Goodwin is a great defender. Um, he was let go from the Lakers last year, and the Suns picked him up for basically nothing. And he's somebody to watch for. Remember the name if the Suns try to go on a run again. And coming back to the Rockets, is there anything else I want to say about the Rockets? Shout out Coach Ime Udoka, just having the guys prepared for this sort of environment because it was sort of known what the environment was going to be. You're the Rockets who took Kevin Durant away from the Suns. Blew up their whole team essentially. um, to have a team prepared for that and for them not to be rattled too much, and be prepared for the noise and the antics. Very good on Coach Ime Udoka for the Rockets, and I don't have anything else to say really. I think that's it. Aaron Holiday, I gotta mention him again. 22 points. He was just out there throwing up shots and they were going in. He's been doing. I think the stat was like if you take out the one Nuggets game that they had before this one, he's been on like a crazy streak of like this is like the fifth game where he's at like 20 plus points, I believe so, or close to 20. So good for Aaron Holiday. Finding his footing again after being sort of in no man's land for a couple years there in the NBA. Moving on to the snoozer game. Orlando versus the Sixers. This is a game you turned off at halftime. I'm not going to talk about too much of this game. Um, top left of your screen, I'm at Thompson and the Rockets and the Suns playing, and then we move down to the bottom right. We have Tyrese Maxey, Philadelphia jersey. We have Anthony Black, a new career high for him in this game in the white jersey, in the white Magic jersey. Um, Anthony Black was a huge reason why the score looks like it does. The Magic won this game 144 to the Philadelphia 76ers 103. An absolute, I can't use the word bludgeoning again because I already used it, but an absolute something. An absolute something. I have no words for this game other than Orlando's got some guys on their bench. When I looked at them over the last couple years, I was like, oh, you're gonna have to trade some of these guys. These guys aren't like real NBA talents, they're nice little role players. Man, oh man, did I eat my words last night, especially. Franz Wagner, obviously, probably the lone star in this team right now. 21 points in 27 minutes. Tristan da Silva, who I'm a big fan of, dating back to last year, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Wendell Carter, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Desmond Bain, 15, looking more and more comfortable as the weeks go on. 6 assists as well. Jalen Suggs, ejected in the first half of this game. It's only 4 points for him. He had 11 assists, though, which was really good. He was setting up a lot of guys this game last night. Um, Noah Penda, their draft pick from this past draft, 10 points. Goga Badatse, 10 points. Tyus Jones, 10 points. Jett Howard, 13 points. Jates Richardson, 7 points, and then off the bench, the leading scorer for both teams, Anthony Black, a new career high for him, 31 points, 12 of 17 overall from field goal, 4 of 6 from three, um, 3 assists, um, 1 steal as well. What to say about this game on the Magic side? Um, I say this about the Hawks all the time. The Hawks look better without Trae Young, the the ball stopper and the guy who just throws up shots sometimes. The Magic look kind of better without Paulo, even though Paulo's a really good scorer. He's a black hole sometimes. And this night the ball was just snapping. It was finding it's the law of basketball where if you just move the ball, it's gonna find the guy who's open, and that's exactly what happened in the first half. That's why they were able to surmount or surmount, uphold, create, create the lead that they did, and then towards the end of that half, Anthony Black started to go off, and then heading into the back half of this game, the second half, Anthony Black just took it over. Um, Franz Wagner looked very good, controlling the pace of this game. Desmond Bain looked comfortable. Jalen Suggs was already in the locker room, so I can't talk about him in the second half. Wendell Carter, Tristan Da Silva, really good front court presence. Um, Goga, okay enough, just hanging around, which is good. Jett Howard looked really good as well. Did not shoot the ball the best from three, but overall looked fine. And then Tyus Jones, this is probably his most okay game as an Orlando Magic because he's looked rough at times, but he had no turnovers. He had 3 assists and he had 10 points in 16 minutes, and he was 2 of 3 from three. I think that's really good for Tyus Jones, especially considering the situation has been great for him in Orlando to start the season. And then for the Sixers, it was just bad for the Sixers. Turnovers, guys were getting injured during this game. They went back to the locker room, came back. Some guys didn't come back. Um, no, literally, it was Tyrese Maxey and company out there. No Joel Embiid, no Paul George, no um, uh, VJ Edgecombe, no nobody. So it was Tyrese Maxey and a bunch of old guys and a bunch of G League guys. 20 points for Maxey, 3 points for Andre Drummond, 12 rebounds though. Quentin Grimes, 8. Could have had a little bit more Quentin. Um, you're playing for a contract next year, Quentin Grimes. You got to step it up. 13 for Justin Edwards, 11 for Dominic Barlow, a reemergence of old Eric Gordon, 10 points. Jared McCain finding his way back, finding his rhythm after the early season injury, finally back, playing some consistent basketball, 15 points for him, 2 of 5 from three. Um, yeah, just a no nothing night for the Sixers. It was actually kind of disappointing, but this is what you sort of expect throughout the season. Sometimes is you're just gonna run into a team that's just so riddled with injuries. It's gonna feel like an easy win, but you have to go and seize the win, and that's exactly what the Orlando Magic did. They seized the win. They said, "This is an NBA Cup game. We kind of want to be competitive. We can show the rest of the league we are competitive if we win this NBA Cup game or win this NBA Cup game to advance to the knockout round." Um, on was that is that on Friday? I think it starts on Friday. Yeah, the knockout round starts on Friday, maybe next week. So there's some real stakes with these NBA Cup games, and I think the Magic sort of felt that, and they wanted to prove something, go out there and beat this team. That probably could have gotten the jump on them, but they didn't. So yeah, that's that for this game, and then the last game rounding out Wednesday night last night or Tuesday night last night. Battle of LA, the Lakers versus the Clippers in the Crypto.com arena. Lakers got the W, 135 to the LA Clippers 118. Looks a little bit closer than it actually felt. Um, or actually, it's the reverse. Looks a little bit more wide open, like the Lakers dominated this game versus how it actually was. The Clippers put up a fight. They did. I'll give them credit. They put up a fight. They didn't really have anything. Um, Kawhi Leonard is back. James Harden was here, um, but they're coming off a loss to the Orlando Magic. Funny enough, that they played the other night, and their defense looks god awful. And I think everybody else has gotten the tape on that game, and they said, "Oh my gosh, this is how we're going to attack the Clippers," because the Clippers are about 35.5 years old collectively. As a group, as a team, they're like 35 plus years old, the average age. And the Clippers did not have any answer for Luka Doncic. This was one of those nights for Luka. As somebody who's been watching Luka since um, he was playing at Real Madrid, when he was an 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid, um, watching him then and watching him now, Luka has these nights where you just watch him, you say, "There's no way there's a guy who plays the game at this pace with this much aggressiveness, but also this much raw skill and talent. There's no way this is possible." And it is. He almost had a triple double, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 13 assists, almost a triple double for Luka. Um, just wheeling and dealing. Um, looked like his team, um, the the whole group as a collective, especially the big three. We'll call them the big three. Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron. Austin Reeves had 31 points. Luka and Austin Reeves, the highest scoring duo in the NBA right now. Crazy stat. LeBron James 25 points. I think this was his third or fourth game back. Um, we'll get to LeBron. Um, Luka just looked just knew the assignment. He's like, okay, these guys are old. They're not going to come out on threes. If we get in a pick and roll and they both sink to the basket on Rui Hachimura or um, any of these bigs, or if it's just a LeBron and Luka pick and roll, if they die, if both opposing players dive to the basket to stop a easy bucket, Luka was just there, wide open, just standing there with the ball. Okay, so I'll shoot it. And same thing with Austin Reeves. The ball did find LeBron James at times for um, his 3 point attempts. He was 2 of 5 from three overall. Um, it was just really smart basketball, and you expect nothing less from Luka. You expect nothing less from LeBron, and um, you expect about what you expect from the Clippers. And the Lakers sort of just they played into everything they needed to play into. There was a little bit of some pushing um, at the end of this game. Clippers Chris Dunn got ejected. Um, Jackson Hayes for the Lakers got a technical foul. He stayed in the game though, and the Lakers played the game smart enough to sort of just keep building and building and building and building and building until the Clippers literally just ran out of gas because they're old. Um, you look at this box score for the Clippers. I'm going to read you the box score here, and you say, "Oh, they might have." If I didn't tell you the final score, they probably won this game, right? They didn't. Kawhi Leonard 19, John Collins 18, Ivica Zubac 10, James Harden 29, Chris Dunn 19, um, and that's it. Those are the only guys in double digits. You say, "Oh, okay, okay, that's okay, that's fine." Starting five in double digits, that's okay. It wasn't okay. I'm gonna read you these percentages here as well. Kawhi Leonard 6 of 14 from field goal. John Collins 6 of 8, better. Ivica Zubac 5 of 12. James Harden 19 for 21. Chris Dunn 8 for 13. These are all field goal percentages. 3 point percentage. I'm not even gonna read you their 3 point percentage individually. I'm just gonna tell you they shot 35% from three. 13 of 35. Not great. Not great. Um, and this team's age is just such a big hump to get over. And there has been talks of maybe you got to get rid of Tyronn Lue. Maybe Tyronn Lue's the problem, the coach of the Clippers. I don't think so. I think the team's just old. The team's just old, and they put up enough of a fight where if you watch the first half, you're like, okay, nice, good game. And even when Luka was going off, Luka had it from the the tip of the ball, from tip off, right? He had it going. But the Clippers win this game. And then the game wore on. Clippers started to look really old. Their legs were tired, and all the negative stuff that comes with this. The positive things that comes with age in this game is understanding the moment. But when you get to the final moments and your body can't hold up, that's when your age also shows. And I think this Clippers team is just it's gonna crash and burn. They're 5-13. I don't see any way forward. Reggie Miller on the broadcast last night said it too. They just need to play defense. They need to be more competitive defensively. And I thought about the thing that he said. I don't think there is any way. There's just no way. Like you can't turn back the clock. We're not turning the clock back to 2019 Kawhi Leonard. We're not turning the clock back to 2018 James Harden. We're not turning the clock back to 2015 2014 Chris Paul. We're just not. And the rest of the guys on this team, Cam Christie, Kobe Sanders, Kobe Brown, um, Jeremy Telfort, Jamal Telfort, John Collins, ranging from okay role player to bench guy to really good role player. They're they don't move me enough, and they played a little bit last night. Some of these guys, and John Collins played the most out of any of these guys, 18 points, but they just don't make the difference. They just don't make the difference against a Luka Doncic, an Austin Reeves. They just don't. They just don't. I'm sorry. And this is when I often say there are levels to this, right? Last night, the Lakers looked like a championship level team against this old Clippers team. And the reverse as well. The Clippers look like an old team that is just throwing it together and just rolling the ball out there and say, well, if we win, we win. They just can't compete. The Clippers just can't compete. And this Lakers team isn't even the best team in the West. This is not the best team. This is far from the best team. But they played like the best team last night. They played like they were the best team in the West. And that's the irrational confidence that you need to have, especially if you're this Lakers team. And they looked great. They looked great. I'm rambling, but they really looked great. And I'm happy for Luka. When I get to watch Luka Doncic play the game like he did last night, I'm a happy camper. I know Luka's a happy camper, especially because they won. Um, Luka Doncic moves up to 10th on the Lakers' most 40-point games. Congratulations to Luka. And yeah, I think that's it. That's the video. We almost got the 40 minutes, so I think we'll cut it here. Do you have any more thoughts? Um, the Lakers passing, really sharp, really good, even without DeAndre in this game as well, the starting center. Um, Passing, not just obviously from the usual suspects, LeBron and Luka, everybody was passing the ball. It looked good. There were some bad shots. Luka took some bad ones as well, but he was hot, so we just throwing some heat checks up there. Um, and yeah, I'm looking through the stats here. Nothing much else. It was a Luka night. L.A. Luka. L.A. Uka. Luka. It was a Luka night last night. So yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, you guys will get a video on Friday because I'm traveling for the holidays, so you will not get a video tomorrow on Thursday about tonight's games on Wednesday. But feel free to check out my uh, NBA men's basketball playlist. I'll put a card in the top right corner. You click it, it'll take you right to the videos, and all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.